will be there next year and is in Korea for the Four Continents Championships. Jeffrey Buttle, fresh off his third-place showing in Hamilton at the Nationals. And this is his short program from yesterday. And so Jeff Buttle, knowing also that Emmanuel Sandhu had to leave Korea because of injury.
Jeffrey opening with his combination, triple flip, triple toe. We talked about as Canadians how Jeffrey has is such an artist on the ice, similar to Kurt Browning, and he's also now showing he's kind of got the mental game that Elvis Stojko has. So what a great combination that is. Here's his weakness. It's a triple axel. Good attempt. He landed it earlier in the season in Japan at the NHK Trophy and finished second in that competition. His layout position on his camel spin, he has so many fine qualities to his skating, the details.
That was yesterday. Jeffrey Buttle, the 19-year-old, third place in Canada, first Four Continents Championships. Guess what? He was second after the short program. We'll show you today's free skate in a moment. Here are the standings after the short program yesterday. Jeffrey Buttle, the 19-year-old from Sudbury, trains at the Mariposa Club, along with Takeshi Honda, representing Japan. Takeshi in fifth place, disappointment there. Matt Savoy, the leader. Jason Daname in 11th position. Johnny Weir of the United States in third. And here is another one of the young skaters we'll be watching. His name, Jiadong Ma from China. And we have seen over the last few years a great number of skaters from Asia, from China, from Japan, who are tremendous leapers. Jiadong is just 19, was fourth at the World Junior Championship a year ago.
And let's get right to it. True spirit of the Chinese men's skaters, another great jumper, triple flip. International competition. Certainly has the goods technically. Watch this triple axel.
Well done.
Triple axel, triple toe. many of the top skaters in the world will retire after the Olympic Games, and here we're getting a chance to see the next wave of skaters.
Well, we're also seeing, Tracy, you mentioned those skaters retiring. That will be Todd Eldridge, Elvis Stojko. We are seeing how important the jumps are, in particular the big weapon, the quad, something that Jeffrey Buttle, who's still to come in his free skate, doesn't have yet.
And something that Zhao Dong has is his triple axel. Now, he does not have the artistry, the spins, the footwork, the musicality of Jeffrey Buttle. But because his jumps are so strong, he finished 4th at the Junior World Championships. Jeffrey finished 7th at the Junior World Championships, and it'll be interesting to watch the two skaters as they develop. He needs some artistry. Jeff needs a quad. Struggling slightly on his footwork. Again, his first senior international, and what happens when you move up to the senior level is your program gets 30 seconds longer, and it takes a while before you get that training into your system. His program was front-end loaded, many of his big tricks, so all of his big tricks coming at the beginning of his performance.
Zhao Dong Ma was 8th after the short program, landed a number of triple jumps, and should make a jump in the standings. Marks straight up. Fast rising skater Zhao Dong Ma, who had marks in the 4s for the short program, and these are much, much better.
Two beautiful triple axels, and what you'll probably see is that the presentation marks will drop because the strength of his skating, most definitely the jump.
Right you are, Tracy. 4-8, couple of 5-2s, not bad though. Zhao Dong Ma, those are the marks to watch now for the rest of the skaters to come here in the men's event. Tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern, 11:30 Pacific, the NBA on CTV. Tracy McGrady comes back to Toronto to play against his cousin, Vince Carter. The Magic and the Raptors on CTV, Sunday, tip-off 2:30 Eastern.
Competitor is Jason Denami, Canada.
Here is Jason Denami of Canada. A year ago, 4 Continents Championships gave him a liftoff. So did the National Championships, but a disastrous short program here in Korea has him in 11th place before the free skate.
Jason has not had a good season. He has had injury troubles, boot troubles, and was able to pull it together in his first competition of the year at the Canadian Championship. Not able to pull it together in the short program. His trademark triple axel coming up. Watch the height. Wow. Double toe for his second jump.
Well, already a much better start than in the short program for Jason.
mistake looks like a mistake purely of fatigue. Jason missed quite a bit of training time with his injury. He's severely asthmatic. It hasn't helped his conditioning at all to take time away from the rink. And at this point in your performance, if you do suffer from asthma, you start to stop being able to feel your legs.
He's a skater who also uses that short program to set him up for the free skate, so it must be terribly disconcerting to know that he has to come a long, long way up, particularly when he does have that stamina problem.
He's on new medication, which he thinks will allow him to train through his asthma. But if he is to make any kind of move up the ladder, he's going to have to address his conditioning. It's going to take a huge effort. Skater. If he could skate his last 30 seconds like he delivered his first 30 seconds, it'd be a huge success.
Tracy, it's too bad because those first 40 seconds for Jason Denomey look a lot different than the last 40. His marks when we come back to Korea. Jason Denomey was second in Canada a year ago and 11th at the Four Continents Championships. Keep in mind that was the year that Elvis Stojko did not compete at the Nationals. He finished 4th in Canada this time around.
Well, I really feel for him when he's out there and he cannot get a full breath of air and he starts to lose the feeling in his legs. Yes, it does. And you empathize with him. It's a real struggle, but you know his talent is worth sticking with it.
He's a great skater. Great skater. He's got everything you need in the sport, and a huge triple axel. In fact, one of the best triple axels in the world.
One of the best and one of the most consistent. He's just a technically superior jumper. You can see these marks. He's dropping for presentation as his program just started to unravel at the end.
Again, he finished 11th at this event a year ago, 11th after the short program, does not want to be 11th at the end of the night.
Roman Skorniakov, Uzbekistan.
Here is Roman Skorniakov from Uzbekistan. Skorniakov 6th after the short program. Still to skate, Takeshi Honda, Matt Savoy, Johnny Weir, and of course Canada's Jeffrey Buttle in line for a podium finish in Korea, maybe even the gold.
Roman will skate to music from the professional soundtrack. He was 20th at the World Championship. 5 years ago, started skating for Uzbekistan.
A lot of young skaters benefited from the breakup of the Soviet Union. Russia loaded with men's skaters. They would skate for the breakaway republics like Uzbekistan. Also married Tatiana Malinina, who represents Uzbekistan, very fine women's skater.
She is also competing here, and they help coach each other. They now live and train in the United States.
Had he remained in Russia, he never would have had a chance to compete internationally. He went to the Olympics in 1998. He's going back to the Olympics again. Roman Skorniakov of Uzbekistan. Roman Skorniakov has always hovered around 20th or so in the world. Will go to the Worlds again in Nagano, by the way, Japan, in March, but right now focusing on going to Salt Lake City in the Winter Olympics. It's not about medals. He knows he's not a podium contender. Just getting a chance to go to the Olympics, that's the big goal.
Absolutely, and probably his final competitive season at the Olympic eligible level. He's, as you said, has been around for a number of years.
Look at that range of ordnance. My goodness. That doesn't seem right. 1 to 7. Were they watching the same thing? My goodness. And there is the Canadian.
Janice Belvin from the ice dance, 17 years of age. She can relax now and sit back and take in the competition.
And taking home a silver medal. And would someday represent the United States, you would think. And here is Song Gao, who comes into the free skate in 4th place. Young skater from China. Again, this is his first really big senior event. Junior skater, and obviously, you know what he can do. He can jump.
Iron Mask. And opening here with his triple axel combination. Lightly off the heel on the takeoff, but all the power to complete the rotation.
What a lean into that triple axel, too. Great landing.
Coming up, a triple Lutz. Great height, and again in combination with a triple toe for his second jump. Again, his strength, too, are his jumps. You can see that he's concentrating. I do get the feeling that he does hear the music and that artistry will come to him in short order. It's just the next step. Nice to the left.
China will send 3 to the Winter Olympics. Min Zhang, Chinese champion, Zhengzhang Li and Yunfei Li, all prodigious jumpers. And they have a number of kids who can soar in the air.
But this is a kid that I think can hear his music, too. I think he's going to develop his artistry. He's going to be a force. Give him a couple of years. When you're a junior moving up to a senior level, this is where the program gets really tough. Not something that your body has got the mileage. It's not trained to do this. The extra 30 seconds of the program. Jump, double axels, hangs on.
Has borrowed some of the choreography from Alexei Yagudin, you notice, too, some of the hand gestures. He's no Alexei Yagudin.
Yes.
But he's a fine young talent. How about that? Well done. Song Gao from China. One of the great jumpers today and tomorrow. We'll be back. No, you're not looking at video from 1960. There's a computer problem in the building, and we have had to resort to placards for the judges' marks for Song Gao.
Marks for technical merit.
But a nice set of technical merit marks.
5-2.
Doesn't matter if it's on a computer or placard.
5-4. 5-4.
Good marks.
5-2.
Very impressive.
5-4. 연기
He is going to
점수입니다.
move up the ladder in a big way here.
And he's not there yet. You can see his weaknesses in his spins and his footwork, not refined yet. But you do have a sense when you watch him that he's going to have a very bright future. He's got soft arms, you sense his musicality, and wow, look out.
First place ordinals, with the exception of 2 judges. That last
Thank
judge
you.
has had some curious markings. He is the leader right now, Song Gao. Way to go. But we have a number of other skaters to come yet, skaters who were ahead of him after the short program, and 1 rung behind him after a disappointing short
The
program.
next competitor is
Takeshi Honda.
Takeshi Honda, Japan.
Proud favorite, of course, in the Orient. He's from Japan, but also in Canada. He trains at the Mariposa Club in Barrie, and he is getting ready for another trip to the Olympic Games. He was 15th in Nagano. He's not going to be 15th this time around.
Ranked 5th in the world last year, 5th after the short program. Takeshi's music, Concerto de Arañez. He's enormously popular with skating purists. Every movement has meaning, beautiful artistry. Difficulty for Takeshi is doing the jumps on the day of the competition. Nice triple flip. Good way to start.
There's also been the subject of the quadruple jump, the quad. When he lands it, often he is off to the races. When he doesn't, he has a problem with meltdowns.
Here comes his quad now. He's got good speed. He's got to relax, keep the timing consistent going in. Oh, you can see his toe pick slipping on the takeoff.
Now to put the blinders on.
Got to put the mistake behind him. Comes his triple Salchow. He hopes one day that will become a quad. He's been practicing it. Here comes his triple axel. Yeah.
the goal for Takeshi Honda always. Has had trouble with that at times. Couple of glitches here. But so far, the best free skate we have seen. His marks from the ISU Four Continents Championships next. Talent galore, Takeshi Honda. And a contender if he can just put it all together at the Olympic Games.
Similar to Emmanuel Sandou in that if he could do in competition what he can do in practice, he could compete with anybody in the world. I cannot say enough about his artistry. Without the jumps, it's a pleasure to watch his skating. But very disappointing for Takeshi. He went for the quad and he fell. That's fine. A couple of mental errors later in the program on some of his easier triple jumps, and those mistakes will cost him.
We see low 5.253. Again, just like last year in Salt Lake City, some rather curious judging. Keep in mind, these judges, many of them have never been to a major international. This is kind of their litmus test here, and many of them are failing the grade. A fourth place so far, that's off the charts. That's not right.
Take your time. Deep breath.
But Takeshi Honda is the leader.
The competitor is Matthew Savoy, USA.
And here is the leader after the short program, Matthew Savoy from Peoria, Illinois. Matthew Savoy of the United States, Takeshi Honda. Leader in the free skate right now. Matt was the leader after the short program. Johnny Weir is next, and then Canada's Jeffrey Buttle. There's our Canadian contingent getting ready for Jeffrey Buttle, who could be on the verge of a major breakthrough internationally. We have not seen that in Canada in quite some time. The cast of usual suspects, Elvis Stojko, Shaylin Bourne, and Victor Kratz over the years, Jamie Salé, David Pelche recently, but no Canadian has won a major international. Could that happen here? Jeffrey Buttle still to skate. Matthew Savoy from 5'1" to 5'6".
Not what he's capable of. He looked very tired in that program, particularly at the end, and one triple axel.
Second set of marks could determine whether Savoy makes the podium or not. Because remember, he was the leader after the short program. Right now, he is second. And again, Takeshi Honda with that skate so far that has been the best of the bunch in the men. But Takeshi will be knocked down because of his short program.
Johnny Weir, USA.
Here is young Johnny Weir, just 17, 2 years as a senior now on the United States scene, 5th at the Nationals. Really is making strides. Over the last year, has been a junior skater predominantly. Fresh face and a one to watch.
Skating to the heart of Budapest. Opening with his triple lutz. Nice height. Beautiful landing into a triple toe. Johnny does not have a quad in his arsenal. His most difficult jump is triple axel. Here it comes. Oh, opened it. So crowded, so he was able to join forces with Elvis Stojko and go to train with Elvis at his rink. Johnny's only 17. Overtraining can be a problem. Johnny started landing his quad in the fall when his coach, Priscilla Hill, was away at another competition. He was so excited that he finally got it. He did it so many times, he got shin splints and hasn't been able to do it again this season.
Elvis Stojko won't do this kid any harm. Probably learn a little bit about fight and heart, and maybe a little more about the quad.
And speaking of fight, a number of triples at the end of his performance.
Finish. But those early mistakes will be costly. Johnny Weir began the night in 3rd place. Coming up next, Canada's Jeff Buttle will skate for gold at the Four Continents Championship. Well, some have risen, some have fallen. Johnny Weir did both in this free skate. Right now, our leader is Takeshi Honda. Song Gao is 2nd, and Johnny Weir began the night in 3rd place. The judges might have a tough time here for the risk and the punishment, but also the reward, Tracy.
Well, Johnny Weir, unfortunately for him, was not able to complete a triple axel, and you need it at this level of competition if you are to be a success here.
Johnny Weir.
A well-balanced program, though it wasn't front-end loaded. He did have some of his triple jumps at the end of his performance. Only 17 years of age.
5-1.
Again, a wide range, though. 5-0 to 5-5.
5-3. 5.
Johnny Weir is currently in 3rd place. There's been some jumping going around in the standings. Matt Savoy is 4th. Gao is 2nd. Honda is 1st. He's gone from 5th to 1st, so Jeffrey Buttle has a huge chance right here. Already has a 2nd place finish from the NHK, which was a breakthrough for him. 3rd at the Nationals, but it's been quite some time since a Canadian has leapt onto the podium at a major international, and the person's name in men's skating wasn't Elvis Stojko.
The next competitor is Jeffrey Buttle, Canada.
So here we go. What is this 19-year-old phenom all about right here, right now?
He has been on a meteoric rise this season. The most difficult jump for Jeffrey is his triple axel. It is not consistent. And he will skate to music by Nina Rhoda, La Strada. Triple flip combination. A solid triple flip, double toe.
Great start.
Nailing a triple left.
Joining us, Emmanuel Sandu was supposed to skate here, hurt his knee. There was some question about the Olympics. Emmanuel is all right.
And now the triple axel. Yeah!
Just hanging on.
Again, not a consistent jump, but look on the smile on his face. What a competitor.
question, Tracy, if Emmanuel could not skate at the Olympics because of injury, would Jeffrey Buttle be able to skate at Salt Lake City? And the answer is no.
No, he had not met the criteria by the Canadian Championships. Had he outskated Emmanuel at those Canadian Championships, he would have earned a spot at the Olympics.
Can you believe this? The kid might just have won the Four Continents Championships.
He finished as strongly as he started, and you know, to watch him skate, he made me forget that it was a competition. Many of the skaters you agonized with, and you could see his teammates all standing, cheering him on behind him in the red coat.
Again, many of the major elite skaters aren't here, but that is not to diminish the skate that this young man just had. Not since 1991, when Elvis Stojko won his first major international at Skate Canada, has a Canadian man stepped to the top of the podium, and Jeffrey Buttle may have just done this right here tonight in Korea.
The height on his triple flip, a very strong jump in combination at the beginning of this program there, a nice triple lutz. All aspects, the key jump, his triple axel, and as I said, not a consistent jump. It is becoming consistent for Jeffrey.
And the footwork, he's got great artistry, reminiscent of Kurt Browning. He has the jumping ability. He still needs the quad, but without the quad, this may be good enough. Takeshi Honda, remember, began the night in 5th place. To make a move to first would be almost unthinkable. If Jeff Buttle can just hang around 1 or 2 or 3 in the free skate, he wins gold.
That was an overall fine performance. There was not a weak area in it. And the look on his face was just about expressing the music. It was about enjoying being out there and competing.
And something we haven't seen in a while, one of these young skaters, Canadian skaters in whatever discipline, putting back-to-back skates together, short program and free skate.
He makes it look easy, doesn't he?
He does. He's a fine, fine young skater. He's a great smile, and
It
boy,
is easy, he says. Look at that.
it is worth the trip.
Hi, Barry.
To Korea, isn't it?
I think the hardest part now is waiting for the marks for Jeff.
There's Doug Lee.
And Lee Barcal, a longtime coach of Jeff. They worked together.
Mariposa Club, Barrie, Ontario. It developed a lot of great men's skaters. Brian Orser, Elvis Stojko, Takeshi Honda, we think of, and battle here of the Mariposa skaters between Jeff Buttle and Takeshi Honda. Now, these marks are a little lower than Takeshi's, but again, this might still be good enough? Let's watch the reaction. Jeff Buttle now. Second set of marks are everything.
They're key.
Look at this, with a wide range of ordinals, first to sixth. But guess what? Canada has a new star in men's skating. His name is Jeffrey Buttle. He's won the gold medal at the Four Continents Championships. And look at the look from his teammates.
They know how special that is.
Two terrific skates. Second in the short program. Second in the free skate means gold for Canada.
And I think Jeffrey's just figuring out that he actually won. His teammates know more than he does.
Hey, Jeff, you just won the Four Continents Championships, pal. The Olympic contenders were not here, but this felt like the Olympics to Jeff Buttle, I am sure. 19-year-old Sudbury, trains in Barrie, wins the gold medal at the Four Continents Figure Skating Championships. Takeshi Honda, second. What a moment this is. Significant for the development of Jeff Buttle, and also for those other skaters in the stands who are probably thinking, you know what, if Jeff Buttle can do this, so can I.
Absolutely. He has the right attitude out there. It's wanting to succeed as opposed to the fear of making a mistake. He just went out and went for it. Where the other skaters knew it was there for the taking, they couldn't quite go through that door, and Jeffrey stepped up and did tonight. And I thought showed incredible composure on and off the ice.
Takeshi Honda takes the silver. He made a big leap in the standings, but his fifth place in the short program meant he couldn't win the gold. And Song Gao, good story. Another Chinese skater, bronze medal. Jeffrey Buttle, first time ever at a senior event, and he gets to hear his national anthem. What a way to cap off a season. Next Saturday, we'll have the women's free skate from the Four Continents. Please check your local listings. Jeffrey Buttle will bring back gold. Langlois and Arquetto, a silver medal. Wing and Low, a bronze. Next stop for the skating world, Salt Lake City and the Winter Olympic Games. For Tracy Wilson, this is Rod Black. Congratulations, Jeffrey Buttle. You've been watching the ISU Four Continents